We are witnessing one of the biggest cuts to foreign aid on record.
The largest reduction in overseas aid
US aid
spending.
workers.
UK rolled back its foreign aid budget.
And the impacts are being felt everywhere.
Hitting sub-Saharan
Pulling
Africa the
funding.
hardest because children are going unvaccinated.
International aid fell in 2024 for the first time in 6 years, and it's likely to drop even more in 2025.
It's hard to imagine how we'll ever get back to the sort of levels of funding that we've seen in recent years.
At the centre is the complete dismantling of US foreign aid assistance, sending organisations that rely on it into a tailspin.
It was triage mode.
The Justice Defenders Programme provides legal support to thousands of human rights defenders around the world. They abruptly lost US State Department funding, which they've received since 2011.
The absolutely horrifying experience of losing the ability to provide help you've been trained to provide at the exact moment that help is needed more than ever before.
But funding cuts are just part of a disturbing trend. Vital civil society organisations around the world are being threatened on multiple fronts, from legal attacks to smear campaigns. The combination has left their credibility tarnished. This is the Edelman Trust Barometer. For the last 25 years, it has been measuring public trust of institutions, and for years, NGOs ranked at the top of that list. But in 2018, businesses started to surpass governments and NGOs as more competent in solving problems. Polled participants criticised NGOs for focusing on fundraising over creating real solutions. US lawmakers have jumped on this sentiment as a way to justify budget cuts.
The USAID, it's incompetent and it's really corrupt.
And in autocratic countries, reputational attacks on non-profit and media organisations have given leaders greater leeway to crack down on critical voices through weaponising the law.
The archetypal example is that of the Russian-style foreign agent law. Russia initially adopted its foreign agent law in the aftermath of protests against Vladimir Putin's return as Russian president in 2012. And the law considers a foreign agent to be an individual or an organization that receives foreign funding and engages in quote-unquote political activities. But the definition of political activities is so vague that it could encompass virtually anything that might influence public opinion, from hosting an educational event to simply printing opinion polls. Once labeled a foreign agent, an independent newsroom or civil society organization would have to register with the Justice Ministry. And they're then required to submit regular reports on their activities, finances, and interactions, facing fines and even prison sentences if they so much as miss a deadline. Their assets can be frozen, bank accounts closed, and the donations and grants that once kept them afloat cut off. And now, worryingly, we're seeing these types of laws spreading like wildfire across countries in Eastern Europe, Central Asia, and South America.
And now, with funding falling sharply, the CSOs working to uphold human rights have been left with fewer resources than ever to defend themselves.
If you want NGOs that are there to document human rights abuses, they need to be financially resilient. The latest cuts are a reminder that we need to do more to make sure that all actors in society are playing their rightful role. Private philanthropy needs to do more, corporations need to do more.
But funding alone is not a solution.
Civil society organizations and independent media are in critical need of legal support that doesn't chip away at limited funds these organizations need to operate and survive.
As civil society organisations face this barrage of threats to their reputation, their financial stability, and the right to operate independently, their work is more critical than ever.
This is not just about the human rights defenders, but what were the defenders defending, right? All of us, they were defending civic space, they were defending all of our rights. It's a tragedy for everybody who actually believes in a just and equitable world.